discard, whatever. Interesting. Now this is a turn of events. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we are focusing around a Liliana discard deck. Liliana, Waker of the Dead, is a new 4-drop black Planeswalker within core set 2021 that has a +1 ability that makes each opponent discard cards, and a -3 ability that gives target creature -X, which is really cool because there's a lot of indestructible in this set. And then of course -7 emblem, which is at the beginning of combat on your turn. You get to put a creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield and give it haste, which is incredibly powerful, right? So we're trying to eat our opponent's hand with this deck, survive. We have field wipes, and then we're going to get Liliana's ultimate ability off, and then just start free casting from our graveyard, ideally. As always, if you find any value within this video, be sure to drop me with a thumbs up and share this to a friend who you think might also enjoy it. We're going to take a look at the deck list in its entirety. Then we're talking about the deck strategies and synergies. How do all of those individual cards work together to form a coherent archetype? Then we're into the gameplay footage for the day, breaking down all the different play lines and interactions within the core set 2021 historic meta. I do want to emphasize that as well, that this is a historic deck that we've made today. We did reach Mythic, and we were grinding with mono black, so I wanted to take a little bit of break from that, and now we're just playing in a play queue with a historic deck, which is the most enjoyable Magic the Gathering experience that there is out right now. I've got a frog in my throat today, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but let's get into the deck list of Liliana discard. We have 2 copies of Divest. This is a 1-drop sorcery. Target player reveals their hand, uses an artifact or creature card from it. That player discards that card. 2 copies of Duress, which is the exact same thing. However, it is non-creature, non-land this time instead of creature. So we've got kind of both sides of the coin there. Duress ends up being a dead drop more than not, and Divest you can normally always get a target for, unless it's against control matchups there. So we do have Agonizing Remorse, which will hit either or. However, it's not a discard ability, it is an exile effect. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, or a card from their graveyard, exile that card, you lose 1 life. 2 copies of Burglar Rat, a 1/1 creature, which enters the battlefield and discards a card from your opponent's hand. 4 copies of Waste Not. This is an enchantment. Whenever an opponent discards a creature card, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Whenever they discard a land card, add 2 swamps. And whenever an opponent discards a non-creature, non-land card, draw a card. 4 copies of Yarok's Fenlurker, a 1/1, which again, when he enters the battlefield, makes an opponent exile a card from their hand. So not a discard ability, so won't trigger Waste Not, but still eating your opponent's hand away. 3 copies of Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. This is a 6/6, and when it enters the battlefield, each opponent has to discard a card. Each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. And then of course it is sacrificed unless it escapes, and the escape cost is 4, 2 black, 2 red, plus exiling 5 cards from your graveyard. Onto our 3-drops, 2 copy of Davriel's Rogue Shadowmage. This is a legendary Planeswalker with 3 loyalty when he comes in. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, Davriel deals 2 damage to them and -1 to make them discard a card. 3 copies of Cry of the Carnarium. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Exile all creature cards in all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn. If a creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Murderous Rider, a 2/3 with lifelink. When it dies, you put it onto the bottom of its owner's library. It does have Swift End attached. That is an instant adventure. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2 life, which is very nice because it's at instant speed. 3 copies of Liliana, Waker of the Dead, another legendary planeswalker, 4 loyalty this time, +1. Each player discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life, -3. Target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. And -7, you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put a target creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. 2 copies of Rankle, Master of Pranks. This is a 3/3 with flying and haste. Whenever Rankle, Master of Pranks deals combat damage to a player, choose any number. Each player discards a card. Each player loses 1 life and draws a card. Each player sacrifices a creature. 4 copies of Ritual of Suit. Destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less. And then we have 10 swamps, 5 mountains, 4 Blood Crypts, and 4 Dragonskull Summits. It's a best of 1 deck, so there's no sideboard here today. That's the deck list. Let's begin to break down the deck's strategies and synergies. It's a very simple deck. I'm doing this as a relaxation project. I'd like to take days off sometimes from ranked and creating these incredibly competitive decks. So we're going janked a little bit. Obviously, just looking at this deck now, I can see ways to improve it. However, the general strategy for this deck is just discard, 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 discard. I think we could fine tune it, which we will get to with my final thoughts after the gameplay footage, my upgrade guide slash opinions and suggestions on the deck, depending on which route you want to take it. But for right now, it kind of just is an aggro discard. There's not too much in the way as far as it being super consistent. We can easily get shut down. However, our 1-drops, Divest, Duress, it's just easy turn 1 discards, and that's not even really the good part of it. You get to determine what your opponent's playing. You get to pace out the rest of the game because now you have access to their hand, you get to see what they have. You know, okay, they've got a Growth Spiral this turn, there's no Quench, and then they're trying to get a Nissa out, right? Something like this. So you know what they have, even if you can't take a card. So if Divest doesn't hit, you still get to look at your opponent's hand for 1 mana. That is an incredible advantage within this game. So that's why I've included Divest and Duress, just splitting the difference on them so you can probably hit all decks with them. It's better than having 2 dead cards every match than 4 dead cards every second match, in my opinion. Anyways, so there's some nice early discard there. We also have Agonizing Remorse, which is the similar thing, where we get to see their hand. Burglar Rat and Yarok's Fenlurker and Kroxa, we don't get to see their hand. Our opponent gets to choose what they discard without revealing their hand to us. So I always like to start up with a Duress, Divest, or a Remorse, just so we get the foresight of what our opponent's doing, like we talked about. If not, then we go in with the Rat, the Fenlurker, Kroxa, Titan of Hunger, just because we know they're discarding. And then if we can get Davriel on turn 3 for some further discard, that's even better. We do only discard effects, right? Just trying to eat our opponent's hand as quickly as possible. Rankle can also make our opponent's discard on turn 4, the same as Liliana. So we have turn 1 discard, we have turn 2 discard, we have turn 3 discard, and we have turn 4 discard. So we really like to try to ride our mana curve up, and that's the ideal play route within this deck. It's as easy as that. And if you're playing this way and they don't have any field presence, there's no need for blockers, and there's no need to protect your Liliana, so you can just recast her, and if there's stuff going on, probably go with Rankle, right? But if your opponent does have stuff going on, then our game plan is interrupted a little bit. We now have to incorporate removal. So it's important to first determine what deck your opponent's playing. That's done through our Duress, Divest, and Remorse. Then we know if we need removal, right? We know if he has a whole bunch of aggro creatures, like mono red, something like this. We can prioritize Cry of the Carnarium. We can also prioritize Cry against John's Sacrifice, anything with the cats, right? If it's not this, if it's a big mono green deck, we know that we don't need Cry of the Carnarium, and that we want to prioritize probably Ritual of Soot, so we can get rid of mana cost 3 or less. If that's not an option, if we know he's got big baddies that are mana cost 3 or more, then we absolutely need to be prioritizing our Murderous Rider. The same goes for Planeswalkers. We need to be prioritizing Murderous Rider on the biggest, the baddest, the most threatening targets in our opponent's deck that we cannot hit with any of the other removal, and then we go backwards, right? Is there things that we can hit with -2/-2? Nope, they're all 3/3 3-drops. Then we use Ritual. We use Cry when they have the 2 defense, right? So really prioritize your removal, with Cry being against aggro decks, Ritual of Soot probably being against those mid-range decks, and then Murderous Rider against those bigger mid-range decks or the control decks with the Planeswalkers. So you see how to prioritize the removal. Rankle can also make your opponent sacrifice a creature, which is a form of removal, and then Liliana's -3, which does -X equal to the number of cards in your graveyard, for a little bit of removal there as well. So there's really only 2 playlines within the deck, and then you mix them both. We like to obviously start out the match with a Waste Not, no matter what kind of match we're playing, just so our discards get additional value for us. But if Waste Not is not in your draw hand, don't worry about it. Just keep going with the general strategy that we just discussed. So you discard, right? Flex your Liliana, get that -7 ability, and then you're playing Kroxas every turn from your graveyard for free, right? That's very, very powerful. And then if they have creatures and stuff, then you mix in your removal, and then you still try to get there if you can. I think we can make this deck a little bit better if we use the sideboard, things like that. But we're just having fun today. And again, if you go to the play button and then go all deck types, select your historic deck. Now you're playing the play queue through historic, which in my opinion is the funnest time you can have in Magic the Gathering Arena right now. As far as the ultra competitive scene goes, it doesn't exist. It's really relaxed. People are playing all sorts of fun jank, just like this. Like, I made this deck in 10 minutes, played some wicked matches with it, and I walked away having had a great experience, right? So thanks for watching, you guys. We're going to jump into today's gameplay footage. But before we do, I want to remind you that I'm live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. Then at 7, we go live on Twitch for 3 to 4 hours, and then we're in the Discord for the remainder of the day. We are in the Discord. Links for everything in the description below. Getting distracted with Chithead. Twitch chat here. Woof, Dyslexia 101. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate your continued time and attention. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Make sure to watch to the end so you don't miss out on our alternative deck builds, upgrades, suggestions, thoughts, plans for future content, all of that great stuff. And yeah, take care. Have a great day. Peace. All right, I mean, we do have both land colors, so I guess let's just risk it for the biscuit. Our opponent plays first, going slow for the scry. We'll pull our third land, which does help Liliana, does help Ritual of Soot. Our job doesn't have the tendency to play a lot of creatures, though. It's very rare that they're an aggro-style deck. Probably looking at things like Doom Foretold, I'd assume. Let's see what we'll be dealing with. Ugin! Ugin! Hey, that might be enough to win the match right there. Let's keep in mind, that was put into exile, not his grave. Let's eat a land from his hand. Let's just keep eating his hand. I want rid of that eat to extinction so our Liliana can hit the field. Yarok's pump ability for +1/+1 costs 3. Ooh, so pricey. It gives me tingles up my spine. Just like a warning. Red alert, red alert. Do not use his pump ability. Unless that's your only option. Ooh, 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 he's wishing. What do we wish for? What do we wish for? Wish we had another land. That would be fun. Hold up our Murderous Rider, I guess. What did he dig for? Creature with 3, he's got nothing to take. He's looking for a veto. I see, I see, I see. It's a veto combo deck, you guys. Okay. So we've distinguished what our opponent's playing. That's really important. Well, we're just going to make him toss that revival, and that's a big part of this combo.
I have the right to choose my own fate.
We are going to get rid of our Ritual and keep our instant speed removal through Murderous Rider available. No attacks. Talisman on the field makes things tricky, and there's an organic veto. which we can remove. Right? He'll have 2 mana available. Let's just toss this up in the air. Like we just don't care. Veto's Gonzo. And let's just keep pumping our Liliana. Cry doesn't hit Veto, so it can go as well.
Think too much.
No attacks. We're at 6. We do have a -7 ability, which is quite nice. We've not been able to hit it here. It would be nice to do it for the finale. Fountain of Renewal, gaining life. Interesting. Good thing we got rid of Veto. Looking for some form of more removal. He's going to go for the Talisman, but then we just go for our instant speed Murderous Rider removal, right? Si, senor. So that's kind of the downside of Wishclaw Talisman, is that your opponent gets immediate access to it. Oh no, he just went for Eat to Extinction or Liliana. It looks like he just wants to burn this video. We're not going to activate this, we're just going to hold on to that. And by golly, Davriel can hit the field. That's going to start doing chip damage for us.
I'll have to order.
We can pass our turn here. Gains 1 life, but takes 2 damage, so
Struggling?
the net value remains positive. Profane Precision. Whoa, 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 whoa. Exile target creature. Then if there are 3 or more cards exiled with Profane Precision. Transform it, add 1 mana, pay 4, tap it, put exiled card into the battlefield. Really? It's gonna take him a while, so let's get after it and kill these HPs that he's got. We will actually sacrifice our own creature so he doesn't have very many targets for this, right? Sending our Fenlurkers to the grave, so they're untargetable by his precision, and then it shouldn't ever be able to transform. Doing 1 damage here again.
Oh, what a whiner.
Alright, Rankle's gone. I think we can pump our Fenlurker twice. Which still doesn't do anything, actually. And what we need to do is just to never play another creature again. Right. We clean the field of creatures. Now we're just doing 1 damage every turn. His Profane Precision can't hit anything.
Not really.
And we should be relatively good. Vitalize sucks. He just needs that Veto, though. What can we get to really go after this guy? Another Liliana, I guess, right? Planeswalkers. Well, this should be easy enough. I mean, discard that, please.
I don't think you'll be needing that.
That was a land. And again, we're just straight chilling. I don't really like how this equation ends for us. Sure, eating their hand is pretty cool until you both don't have a hand, and now he can pull nukes off the top, and you're just pulling these itty-bitty spells that discard cards when he has an empty hand, right? So we basically need to top deck removal. Well, I really can't complain about that. He can do this at instant speed, but he doesn't have enough mana right now. He takes 3 damage. And Veto is in play. We're in trouble here with Veto in play without removal. Are we ever? This Profane Precision is doing wonders for him, keeping my board state empty. I don't appreciate it.
Loneliness can hurt.
He's actually doing chip damage to us now as well as Veto can attack. If he pulls a Revenge, it's game. Decent. And like I said, this is the biggest downside to these decks here, is that when you do start top decking, it's hard. And normally things like Kroxa kind of save us from that, but with Profane Precision, or Procession? Precision or Procession? I think that's Procession. It just gets our goat. Now he's looking for his Revenge Revitalize. Makes sense. Or not Revitalize, Revenge. What's the other side of that called? Revival. An Oath of Kai. He's just going in casual. Right? It's the slow burn.
Okay, I'm done.
Why not? Makes sense. Try. Let's just play into it, I guess. We could have Wish Clawed for the removal. We need to do that next turn. I should have done that this turn. We have to activate our Wish Claw for another Murderous Rider. Or we don't. Wow, does he ever have nukes on us though? So Rankle needs to be hit with our rider. He doesn't have the mana to do it yet. Cry helps too. Let's get some life gain out. Cry actually doesn't help whatsoever. Oh no. Liliana -6? No. But if it enters the battlefield and it didn't escape, it dies. Kroxa is not a thing to worry about. Kroxa is not a thing to worry about. We need to hit Rankle. What kills Rankle? At least this is instant speed, that's why I take it over Liliana. Liliana can -3 on something and stay alive, which would have been really beneficial, I think. That's a hard decision to make. Do we take a Liliana or do we take a Murderous Rider? Probably Liliana. Talisman's gone. If he pulled a Revitalize or a Veto, he can search for the opposite. But the chances of that are slim. Very slim chances. Whoa! Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast cards without paying its mana cost. Then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of the owner's library in random order. Interesting. That is super duper janked up, isn't it? Just leave our creatures alone. Yeah, actually, that's an instant or sorcery he gets there. So let's see who he takes. Rankle's highest priority. Murderous Rider, we both are just gaining life. Let's end our turn. Gaining plenty of life, and he can play freely still, which is a bummer. This match has gone on quite a while, I think. Normally we do not survive this long. Interesting. That's a good pick to grab. That takes our creature card. Murderous Rider, I believe, comes back into my library. How do we get around Rankle? Now is the thing. We've got to dodge Rankle. Shoot. Let's top deck some removal. We wanted that Murderous Rider for Rankle. We were saving it. Hopefully he's greedy and grows Kroxa. No. Ouch. And the sacrifice would be good. Discard, whatever. Interesting. Now this is a turn of events. Alrighty, I think we've slowly worked our way through the Tomb of the Dusk Rose. Kroxa can be played. It's not escaping though, so we'd get that back. He's killing his renewals. Pulls a Shatter, of course he does, right? That's not enough mana for anything. Now we're both top decking. If he plays that Kroxa, it comes back to our exile, and then we can put it on the field. So this is a potential route for us here in this weird lockout match. He's getting those draws, which is really nice. He has more vetoes. He's got more revivals. Right? So there's lots for him to do here. I'm just impressed that we were able to fight our way through so efficiently so far. So he should have cast Kroxa and then exiled it from our escape during his turn still. Personally, that's my opinion. He knows that I'll get it back, so I'm not sure why he didn't give it back and then exile it. But that's okay. Mastermind's Acquisition, again going into a sideboard in a best-of-1 match. That is a power play move. And he's got 2 cards, so the Fenlurker doesn't even get to discard what he just drew. Hopefully they're combo pieces and we can snag one of them. What? He discards, or to exile the Revival, which is one of his combo pieces. It must be a veto. And good game. Gross. So we'd have to pull a Murderous Rider off top to deal with it, which I'm not sure we have any more of. They've been placed into our library. 3 of them are on the bottom. Oh no. We can pump our Fenlurker. This is an option for us. I don't think by 8 though. And we actually take 2 damage here. Hey, we get it up to 4. Maybe we should have struck. Would have been down to 8. We would have. Yeah, and I think he still would have won. We're coming close though, right? Ritual Soot does wipe us up. And he could even just play Kroxa at this point and it'll deal with 3 damage to us. So he's free and clear. Kill us in a multitude of ways. Ugin sealing the deal. That's a common theme in Core Set 2021 right now. But nonetheless, that was a really good match. Our land's a little bit crazy here to start off the match. Mulligan looks nice. Let's toss our mountain. We have a little bit of field presence. Nothing super strong though. Let's see what he's got. Okay, Spell Pierce. That's fine. I'm coming, hold on. Lots of creatures there. See, so the rest is a dead card. It's gonna cost the shark because the Fenlurkers are a negative balance. Okay, perfect. There's the counter. And we can actually pay that, so that's really nice. The discard decks are kind of hard to make work. Let's be honest, right? Let's just clean the field. Get rid of his draw engines. And now he's top decking, and at least we have a couple cards to play. He lets Davriel hit. Can we get our engine going on with Waste Not? Yeah, we do. Very cool. I guess he can't discard a card. What was I doing there? Oops.
Not really.
We should have kept him at 3. And he goes straight for us, not hitting Davriel. Tries to get the kill. Alright.
Let's tidy up in there.
We have plenty of mana here. Let's ritual first, and then we'll play our rider. We got the mana from Waste Not. And then we do the damage with Davriel. So barely pushing out this mono blue tempo deck. It comes very close, but if you can make someone top deck and then just kind of put the pressure on from there, it does seem to work. And we go first. That's really, really nice. We'll keep it. We have our dual black for our Liliana, and then we've got our single red for Kroxa, if we could pull him. Classic Simic shenanigans. A lot of 4-drops in our hand, though. Worries us. We do have Ritual, which we should use before a rider. Hopefully he plays that tree he drew. Yep. Is he holding a Spell Pierce? Let's see. Nope, no Spell Pierce. I didn't want to wait and have our Ritual Spell Pierce. That would have been awful. Let's just play our rider. Try to get more value out of these rituals while sustaining our life total, just for a little bit. He doesn't think we want to wipe now because we played a creature, so that should get us around his next play. And it's another walker. Let's grab our life, and then just clean the field. Llanowar Elf, that's totally fine. Find into his hand. Interesting. Into the walker. I don't really care if he gains life from it. Let's just keep eating the hand. He doesn't draw, does he? No, he just gets the +1/+1 and gains 3 life whenever it explores. Not to be mistaken with Escape. So he'll get to play lands from the top of his library. If not, he gets +1 counters on it. Right? And it goes to the graveyard. free life counter on the Walker. So he's played his whole hand here, and Ritual of Soot is going to clean house. Nissa on top, though. That's terrifying. We'll chump block here. Rat doing rat things. This Nissa off the top worries me. Can we afford to take 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage? This is a sorcery, not an instant. Never mind. I was thinking put a stop on his draw phase and using our remorse to take Nissa. Very nice. I mean, we could just -3 on this land. What's that last card?
You try my patience.
Okay, Murderous Rider. I will accept taking that. Right, he's 2 black sources away from casting it, so it's a dead card, but all it takes is 1 cemetery and he could have tapped it and recast it, right?
Land shall conquer you.
We get hit pretty good here. Liliana can start minusing.
I have the right to choose my own fate.
We take his black source out again.
And yours.
And that's gonna be game. Whew! Close matches, you barely make it out alive. I really like the hand, we'll keep it and go from there. Wow. Let's take the Forge, even though it's a few turns off. Interesting. Tosses a Shatter. We're in there for another discard, and that's an easy game, you guys. Sometimes it's easier than others. Okay, so Divest, Fenlurker, Ritual. This is a very nice hand again. Even Liliana. Let's see what we're dealing with. Whoa, 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 whoa. We have to take the Scorchers, the only thing our Ritual doesn't kill. And then Anagrass gone too. That's really nice. Okay.
You're on your own.
We don't care about this. We'll do the trade here for sure. We're almost ready for Liliana, but he's still got a full hand. We want to get this Ritual with positive value. Resolve. Resolve. It's a nice hit. My turn, please and thank you. Let's just clean up here. He's got one left in his hand. I guess two. Ooh, great set treasure token, loving that. Let's the Liliana plus. Get rid of this Trailblazer. We're tossing our land.
An opportunity to increase my influence. Sorry for your loss.
Alright, he's buffing up. Incubation Druid, that's fine. It can't adapt because it has Summoning Sickness. We get hit here pretty good, down to 2, which means we can't -3. And he's got nothing for us to plus on. But he will lose 3 life.
That's a missed opportunity.
And, yeah, Guess Kroxa is nice. I don't think I'm going to touch Liliana this turn. And then we're going to hold our rider up. So Liliana dies, and I think he adapts his Incubation Druid. Okay, interesting.
Pyromancer extraordinaire. Mostly.
Let's take that out.
I'm burnt
Still
out.
big hit here for 5, down to 4. He might hit Liliana though. He should. Well, we didn't do anything with her actually, so maybe he'll leave her. If he does, we'll probably play our second Liliana. Okay, so saving 2 damage, down to 6. We need a field wipe. Ritual Soot, please.
Let's never cross paths again. You wish you had a fraction of
Kill the
my
druid.
power. Let death embrace you.
Land is good. Murderous Rider can hit the field next. And he goes straight for us. I kind of like that. He can hit us for 4 actually, down to 2. Interesting. Why not, right? That's so close. This is what I mean, we get way too close. Let's cry. Start plussing Liliana. Get rid of our rat. Deal 3 damage.
Too much.
Oh, of course it's got haste. That's hilarious. We get hit for 1 here. And then he can become unblockable next turn for the less damage. What a clutch win. We can't minus our Liliana. Brutal.
I dwell in the shadows.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Sorry for your loss.
Oh, it's each opponent. Oh, it's each player. We didn't have anything to discard, and we didn't have life to lose. Why didn't we lose 3 life there? Is that okay? Did anybody else catch that? We were not.
Loneliness can hurt.
We were at 1, and then we did the plus ability, had no card to discard. I'm interested there. What happened? Why didn't we take 3 damage? I was 100% trying to kill myself when that didn't work. Alrighty. Oh, Davriel right out of the gate. Hey man, what's up? I came to play the game. We do have rituals to clean all that up for us. We're obviously going to need these murderous riders for, what's his name? Ugin? Right? Stop it. Oops. No counterspell. Davriel's gone, along with the pups. The 7th land. Ugin doesn't get much here. Hydra Crisis is nice. Hopefully, we gain.
The best thing about zombies is their adoring obedience.
Right, if he gives us 2 mana, we're gonna do really well. We got rid of an Ugin.
In fighting fair.
What? How do you put an Ugin in your graveyard? Okay, so he's gonna kill our Liliana here. Oh my lord.
I will protect the virtue of this world. Harness the elements.
It's gonna take us a couple turns. Can we survive though? Because we're getting hit for like quite a few here. He didn't attack with the forest. That's good news. He could have. It had vigilance.
Bored anyway.
Forgive me.
Let's pass. We can rider this crisis here. Hopefully. Oh, of course. Perfect.
Perfection is a journey, not a destination.
We are hemorrhaging damage here.
Has never stopped.
Oof.
I will destroy.
Right, he's got lethal next turn. We need a ritual off the top. What's the discard? I think he's got us. It's a land. Ooh, we get mana. That may not help us. Right. Oof. So he can just attack with a flyer. We don't have enough life to use our last rider, which is so sad. And it escapes our -3. Oh! He gets real close. There's nothing we can do though. He just hits us with the flyer. We don't have any reach. We did all we could to... Oh, what? We gained 4, get hit for 5. We're still dead. Cry. Still gets the kill. What do you do? We'll keep this. I mean, turn 1, turn 2. It'll work. Well, let's go slow and kind of use our divest to get some additional value. Right, because we should be able to double discard on him. Let's see what he's got. Wow. Big time taking the Obliterator. Now let's get Kroxa in there again. See what he discards this time. Alright, we'll take the draw. We like this. It's not a discard, it's an exile effect, but it still helps quite a bit. Let's push it again. Hopefully we get some mana. We do. Let's take back for more. Right, that would have taken his Obliterator back, which is ultra bad news for us. That's fine. It can be pumped up quite a bit. He holds his rider up, though. Lockthwain is fine. This ritual's really good. Let's bait his rider out of his hand first, though.
Seize the day, my minions.
Take his draw engine out of play.
Oh.
No attacks. We save our zombie to defend our Liliana. There goes the rider. Perfect. He can't play it this turn. That's the only thing that bothers me. We're gonna block it, minus our Liliana on it. Five cards in graveyard.
The best thing about zombies is their adoring
He can push it to
obedience.
5, but that's fine.
Get out of my way already.
Alright. Another shade. Dang it. The discard might help our Kroxa situation out quite a bit, actually.
I really don't care.
And then
about
that'll
your
trigger our Waste
plans.
Not. So this is working quite nicely. We do have to get rid of our other Kroxa, though. Bit of a bummer.
Let's never cross paths again.
Dodges our Ritual. Dodges our Cry, so it's going to be on the field for a while. His Murderous Rider's been used. The only bad thing is with no cards, Waste Not is a dead card on the field, basically. So we're getting hit for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 potentially. It's a good hit. Places Rider, that's great. Plays right into our trap. Let's blast him. Oh, our Kroxa, the main cost is 3. We should have attacked first. Good golly, that's embarrassing. Yeah.
I have no interest in fighting.
What do you do?
fair.
Gray Merchant dodges us, deals 2 damage. Rider can pick it up. We could also not minus on it. Ouch. Down to 3. Let's plus our little hearts up. He's got a dead hand, so divest is probably useless.
We're doing things my
Down
way.
to 9. Hopefully he top decks some land. Well, I certainly think so. Push our little lady up. The Ras is dead because he has to discard right now.
I have
It was a
no
Heartless
interest
Act.
in
Interesting.
fighting fair.
Let's get a little bit of life gain on the field. Can we stabilize? We've got his hand taken care of. Yes, we do. Good game. All right, Liliana discard is very nice. Liliana, Waker of the Dead. I think this card is competitive somewhere. I also think the new Chandra is competitive somehow. We're gonna make it there. Not today, we're just having fun in Historic. But if you have any ideas for Waker of the Dead, let me know in the description below in the comments there, right? And we'll discuss it. I think this is a good deck. I don't think it's tier 1. This is maybe tier 3 or 2.5 at best. But nonetheless, sometimes matters. Just about having fun. And yeah, avoiding that ultra competitive environment for me keeps the game relaxing and keeps me from burning out, right? I do like to be competitive some days, but with us having already hit Mythic for the season, I did want to take a break, relax, and then just get some good quality content out for you guys after this quick relaxation period. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend, hit the bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads. We are live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. Then at 7, we go live on Twitch for 3 to 4 hours. And we're in the Discord for the remainder of the day. Links for everything in the description below. Thanks so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. All of your continued time and attention is invaluable. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Peace.